Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. I'm not 100% sure what this video is going to be like. I don't know how many videos I'm going to get out of this, maybe two. But I wanted to talk about my year last year, technically, and a lot of it revolved around going to the theatre a lot, which then made me realise I have these big display books that are full of different theatre trips, basically. A lot of it's theatre based. Some of them, like, for instance, where are you? Saw you a minute ago as I was flicking through. Some of them are literally Star Wars. I don't know if you can see it, it's there. I think that's like, it was the premiere. It wasn't like a midnight premiere, but it was the premiere of Revenge of the Sith that I went to go and see. And for some reason that's in there. And then there's like different event ones as well. But like, I've got three of these that are full of different shows and things that I've been to see in the past. Most of them are theatre shows, some of them are just meet and greets and things that I've also put in there. All should be, theoretically, in date order. Some of them aren't. For some reason, Blood Brothers are in there. I went to see Blood Brothers with school twice. More than twice, but I've got tickets for twice. One in 2009, one in 2011, and they're both in the same like display sheet thing. Some of them aren't in there. For instance, I know I've been to see We Will Rock You, but the thing wouldn't fit in here, the programme. So I buy a programme every time I go, if I can help it. I buy a programme every time I go, and they go in these folders. If not, it's just the ticket. So yeah, we're going to have a flick through. We're going to do one of past things I've seen, a second one of shows I've been in, because they're in here too, and any stories that I've got to talk about from there, because I always tell you when I'm doing a show, but I don't tell you anything that happens during the show, or things that I think are interesting or funny and stuff like that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And the third one, if I do a third one, will be just last year. If the video's not too long with just talking about the shows I've seen, we'll keep the ones I saw last year now, into that one video as well. But if it's a bit long, then I'll split them a little bit more. As you may be able to tell, I had an idea to do this video, but I didn't really have a plan in my head of how to film it. So we're going to figure this out now. And we'll go through Display Book 1, which is this one. Display Book 2 is that one. Not that you need to know that. We'll go through the display books, and we'll see how well I did over the few years that I've been doing this. So I'm going to try and skim through some of these and try not to get too bogged down in story. I was in Bugsy Malone, so we're going to skip that one. You may be able to see there, I went to see Chuckle Brothers at the Britannia Pier. That was in Great Yarmouth. We saw them pretty much every year that we went on holiday there. That was really cool. I loved doing that, seeing that. Then there was Blood Brothers. So apart from Chuckle Brothers, everything I really saw when I was a kid was mostly through school, and we went to see Blood Brothers quite a bit. Behind that is a newspaper clipping that you will see another day, and obviously there's a Star Wars one, because that's from Guys and Dolls that I was in. The first show I ever saw outside of school was with my mum, obviously, and it was The Lion King in 2010, which is crazy to think that was nearly 10 years ago now, 9 years since we saw that. And it absolutely blew my mind. I loved it, and I was like, this is what I want to do for definite. This is my career choice. Whistle Down the Wind was fun. Nottingham, I believe. Yeah, Nottingham. This had a member of G4 in it, which was cool. A few people saw him afterwards, I think, and tried to get his autograph. I don't know if they did in the end. I know I didn't. I think I didn't. I checked it, Joss, and I didn't. Don't remember seeing his autograph in there. But I do remember having going to McDonald's before this with school, because we were at an age where they let us go to McDonald's with one of the teachers. I ordered nothing and ate pretty much everyone else's food, so free meals. Great. Hedda Gabler. I don't remember much about this play, but I remember saying to someone, I know it had Robert Glenister in it, and then when I got this open, obviously it's Rosamund Pike as well. We're gonna flick through this one, and check. There's no autograph. There isn't an autograph, I promise. Where are we? There we are. Robert Glenister and Rosamund Pike in the middle of Nottingham, which was crazy to me to see those two. I didn't know who Rosamund Pike was at the time, I remember that, but I knew who Robert Glenister was from Life on Mars. So yeah, that was a pretty cool experience for me. There is one of my first ever signed photos that I did when I played Vince Fontaine in Grease. We will come to that on a different day. Oh, I completely missed that. But I was I was there. On the front of that, I went to see Example. I was also a talent judge thing, host. That was cringy. I went to see Example in 2011 because I'm super cool. I wasn't in The Wizard of Oz, but I helped out backstage, so I kept that. Then we hit other things that I did, which was a murder mystery. That was my first acting thing outside of school. 5th of May, so it was a couple of days before my birthday. It was so fun to do. Birds of a Feather's in there, and I believe there's something else. Birds of a Feather was pretty good, from what I can remember of it. There isn't anything else. Okay, but that was for Mum's birthday, so I wasn't really fussed by it. This year, 2013, is the first year I did stage experience when I did Annie. I went to see Little Shop of Horrors, which I was so excited for, and it was really good. It was in a small theatre called the Old Rep in Birmingham. The cast came into the crowd and things. It was a really fun night, actually. I really enjoyed that. Then I went and did Annie. Won an award for Annie. Don't know if you can read that properly. There we go. Funniest stage at the moment, which we will get into. We will discuss this. That show has taken up 2 folders, you may notice, because it was such a prized show in my life that it took up 2. And then I went to see Little Shop of Horrors for the second time with a different group, Tamworth Arts Club. This is right around the time. This show is when me and Felicity got together. Felicity was in this. It just so happened, and I loved this show, so I went to go and see this. I sat front row, and during the Dentist song that Connor Brooks was doing, one of my friends, I was sat front row, and he does the say ah bit, and I projected so loud. Apparently the stage microphones picked it up, and they could hear me backstage. So that was fun. It was good to know that in the end. Then I went to see Annie. One of our friends came to see Annie with her daughter, and her daughter saw me and Annie and was like, "I want to do that." So she literally went and did Annie, and I was so humbled. And I don't know, it was such a nice thing for her to say after seeing me do it. I was like, I've got to go watch her in it now. So I did. And she was very good in it, to be fair. I was in Sound of Musicals. We possibly will discuss that one day. There's not really much to talk about in that one. McBusted was amazing. I went to see Once on my 21st birthday. This is one of my favourite shows that I've ever seen in London. It was really weird. Like, the theatre was like downstairs inside, underneath a pub. We were sat front row. The only people that would have been in front of us were any wheelchair users, but there were no wheelchair users in that in that production, in that show, that night. So we pretty much sat front row. And it was such a good show. There's a photo of me and Jack on stage. So this was our 21st. We went down for my 21st, Jack's 21st, and Jade's 21st. Like, Jade's 21st was the 1st of May, mine's the 7th, and Jack's is like the 29th of March. But we all classed it together. We all decided to go down together. This was my choice. I wanted to see this. Jack didn't mind. He didn't really care. I had to convince Jay to come and see this, but we all agreed this was so amazing. He took his now wife Leanne to go and see this show. It was so good. After we saw it, obviously, but I think they saw it with Ronan Keating in it. I was very upset that they saw it with him in it. But yeah, if I can find that photo, there'll be like a random cut here, I suppose, and I'll try and stick it in. If not, they'll all be at the end. But yeah, this is one of my favourite shows. I absolutely love Once. I have not been this far in, so I don't know what. Oh, this is went to see Felicity's brother in his Showcase of Dance graduation show, which was actually a really good show, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of dance, but this was I really enjoyed that. Footloose, I was in. Full Monty, we went to go and see with someone we met through Footloose. His name was Mark Walsh. His name is Mark Walsh. I saw him in that. We got to be really good friends. We're still talking now, every now and again when we can. He was doing this. We all went to see it as a group of friends that had met through stage experience. We bought the last 4 or 5 Pink Wigs. That's another photo that I'll stick on the end of this, or here. There was my break, just in case I do actually clip it. That was a really good night, to be fair. We all just wanted to see him naked, let's be honest. And that's the end of... Yes, because we didn't see it already. That's the end of the first booklet. Let's move on to booklet 2. Don't wreck it, no. Okay, so I barely looked at that one. I'm not sure what's in this one. A lot of this is this year, to be fair, so I'll stop, I think, because it's 7 minutes already. And we'll probably do that one just in a separate video. We're now at 2014, so that was pretty much 2009 to 2014, just in that folder there. And then pretty much all of this is 2018 onwards. Went to see this. This was the group that did Sound of Musicals. I think that's what it's called. The group that I did compilation show with, we went to see this after we did it to see the differences in it. That's one of my most upsetting moments. I had this book signed by E. Lockhart, and now I don't have that book anymore. How upsetting. The first ever wrestling show I saw live was, like proper one, not one in Tamworth, was TNA in Manchester. That was a good night. We went with a group. It snowed on the way home. We didn't know if we were going to make it home. We had to go on like 20 miles an hour throughout the whole journey. We got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but it was well worth it. It was such a good show. I enjoyed that. 42nd Street I went to see. This is the first stage experience show I didn't do from after joining the group. I'm doing the first 2 shows with them. I didn't do this show. And the whole time I was sat there watching this, there was a role in it that I was like, that's my role. I should be playing that role. Got very, very upset with myself for not doing this that year. So I did go back the year later for Grease. You can see like the big jumps here. This is what I mean by like, I keep saying to people that I wanted to go and see more theatre. I don't see enough theatre. So we've gone from 2014 to, this is 2015. This was the next show I saw, was 2015. Then I was in a show in 2016, and I went to see this in 2017. So this is years apart, like literally 1 year apart from each other, and I haven't seen anything. In between this and this, I believe, yes, between this and this, I also went to see Mamma Mia with Lauren, but I don't have a ticket for that, and I don't know where it is, so we're missing a page, and I'm very upset by that. Same as I'm upset with We Will Rock You. I have a program for We Will Rock You that won't fit in this because it's so big. I might try and get that out and show you, actually. I'll get my big thing out and show you, don't worry. That's like around the same time as Lion King was in the first booklet, which is like 2009, 2010-ish. I went to see Jersey Boys as well in London. This is not in London, this was Birmingham, I believe, saw this one. But that's again not in these folders for some reason. I haven't got the ticket for it. The program wasn't. I don't know if we got a program for it. If we did, my mum's got it, and that was in the same time, 2008, 2009ish. And this is the start of this year. So we've gone through a full booklet, and this. How many pages is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 26 pages of just over. 2017, just over 10 years maybe if we include the shows that I saw in 2007, and then all of this is just this year. So that's another. I believe there's 20 in a pack, so there's 14 pages there, and then 2 more in this one. So yeah, I've seen a lot of shows this year in comparison to the rest of the years. We're going to pick up on this one in a second video. Not sure if you found this interesting. I've enjoyed looking back and talking about it, so I hope that came across at least. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you again when we talk about this and then the shows I've done, hopefully. If you decide to come back, please come back.